Let's talk about entry doors. What you don't know can cost you. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
All right. Okay. So, can you tell me a little bit about energy efficiency and security tips when it comes to entry doors? And by the way, entry doors, not only can it cost you, actually adds a lot of curb appeal before we get into this part.
Tremendous.
Tremendous, right? I mean,
For most homes, it's the front of your house.
it's the front of your house.
Yeah.
It's the first thing people walk up to when they come to your house. It really can make a difference.
It's the entrance to your castle.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah.
I like that.
So let's talk about energy efficiency.
Yep.
Fiberglass doors are 3 times more energy efficient than wood doors.
No way.
Wait,
Way.
it's because of all of the insulation and properties that are inside a fiberglass door
Okay.
that is way more dense and has much greater energy efficiency and meet Title 24 and all those beautiful things.
Okay, interesting, interesting. So you mentioned energy efficiency and fiberglass for my entry door. Is it only fiberglass that are energy efficient?
No.
Okay.
But having a good quality entry door that is energy efficient
Yep.
these days with all of the new Energy Star ratings is extremely important. So
Right.
you wouldn't want a hollow core door for your entry door.
Okay. Makes sense.
you
So
know-
definitely got to look for the star rating.
Yep.
Absolutely look for the star rating.
Also, let's talk about security.
I was just going to say security is a big thing for your entry door.
Yeah. So, multi-point locking systems and just upgraded locking systems
Okay.
these days are available that are so much better than the old ones.
God, I mean, safety is such a big thing.
It is. Yeah.
Okay, great. Now, how about the difference between pre-hung versus slab doors, entry doors specifically? And can you tell me, Duncan, a little bit? First, let's like take it down a level. Let's just dumb it down here. Okay, or we can even go lower.
My legs won't let me.
Okay. Can you tell me the difference between, or define for me what a pre-hung door is, what a slab door is, and then talk to me about the differences between the two.
Okay. So a pre-hung door simply means that it comes pre-hung with the hinges in a jamb. And that's usually the 2 sides and the top. If you're talking about an entry door, you're going to include the threshold as well.
Okay.
If you were just talking about an interior door, it would be the 2 sides and the top. And the difference between doing a pre-hung door and a slab door is you can buy a slab and replace just the door into your existing jamb.
Oh, okay.
That
Okay.
is
Got it.
not really possible with fiberglass.
Not possible with fiberglass to just do a slab
To get it to fit, very difficult
properly. Yeah.
because you can't adjust it. So with a wood door, you can plane it, you can adjust it, you can chisel, you can do all those things. You can't do that with a fiberglass door. Also, one of the things I love to talk about with fiberglass doors is they come with a composite jamb. So instead of having a wood jamb, which we're going to get into a little bit later, and all the things that go wrong with wood, the composite jamb really helps as well.
Okay. But so for what we want to talk about, pre-hung versus slab, for an entry door, what is better in terms of?
If you're going fiberglass, pre-hung.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
definitely.
So definitely a pre-hung then.
Yep.
Great. All right. Let's talk about, this is going to be a good one, the difference between fiberglass versus wood.
Doors.
But doors, entry doors. But first, and now let's talk about fiberglass versus wood. And actually, look at this. Is one of our fiberglass doors that looks like wood, and it's gorgeous.
It's beautiful.
I love it. I want one.
I'm sure you do.
It's just, I don't know. It's just one of these things that you got to have it in your house. You got to have it in your house.
Come on back to the podium.
Fine.
You have a question for me?
Fine. Well, I want you to tell us a little bit about the difference between fiberglass versus wood.
There's a lot to tell.
Okay.
There is a lot to tell.
Please do. Start with fiberglass. How about that?
Okay. Fiberglass is replacing wood. It's been out for quite a long time. You can get fiberglass windows, you can get fiberglass French doors, and you can get fiberglass entry doors. People are tired of wood. It warps, it cracks. Termites love to have their lunch on it,
Oh, yes.
and it gets deteriorated by the weather.
Sure.
I'll tell you a quick story. I replaced a door on the beach in Leucadia about 20 years ago, and it had only been there for 8 years, and it literally looked like a piece of driftwood.
Oh my gosh.
It deteriorates so badly in certain conditions. If it's a south-facing wall, gets beaten up by the sun all day, you can have the best varnishes and Danish teak oils, and it just gets destroyed.
So that would be the maintenance of a wood door, but obviously still nonetheless, even though you're trying to maintain it, it gets just destroyed.
Well, it's just so expensive to very often have to strip and reseal
Reseal
a
it.
wood
Okay.
door.
So that's cons of a wood door.
Yep.
Are there any pros of a wood door?
Yep. Beauty.
Beauty. Okay. How about cost? Is a wood door quite expensive? More expensive than a fiberglass door? About the same.
Not necessarily.
Okay.
You could find a wood door that's cheaper than a fiberglass door, and you can find a wood door that's more expensive than a fiberglass door.
Okay. So lots of cons on about a wood door specifically.
Yes.
Okay. How about, are there any cons with fiberglass doors?
Well, the only con with anything these days is price, right?
Oh, that
Everything's more expensive than it used to be. And, you can spend whatever you want to on a fiberglass door. We sell doors for $5,000. We sell them for $25,000. So depends on what your budget is.
Right.
But a fiberglass door is, in this day and age, it is so attractive because you can have a door that looks like wood.
Right. I mean, it's gorgeous.
Or you can paint it and have it look like that Corvette that we talked about earlier.
Sure.
You have the flexibility to change the design of your house, the color. You're not locked into one particular color or style. So
Okay.
that, fiberglass is it's more energy efficient. It doesn't deteriorate.
Right.
It'll last longer. What else do you need to know?
Well, so you're telling me a lot of pros, I should say, for fiberglass.
Yes.
You haven't gotten to really any cons except for maybe cost, but you sure did talk about a lot of cons for wood doors.
Yeah.
So I'm feeling you here.
So let me tell
Right.
you, let me tell our viewers the one thing that is almost mind-blowing with wood doors. If you look at the warranty information on a wood door, it says that upon delivery of a wood door to your job site, if it is not installed and finished, painted or sealed or stained
Done something to get...
within 24 hours, there's no warranty.
No kidding.
I'm not kidding.
Wow.
And it is, when I was a general contractor and I used to hear this information, it was mind-boggling to me because that's basically saying that this wood door, we cannot guarantee that it will not warp, that it will not crack, that it won't get dry rotted out, that termites won't eat it or anything. You can't do anything about that.
Okay.
Fiberglass, you can control the narrative and you can control what happens to it.
Okay, so the story that you just mentioned, which I think is incredibly fascinating, you can get a wood door, obviously, but you're going to have to do something to it once it's installed, right? First of all, you get it delivered, you got to get it installed right away. Then you got to seal it or paint it or do something. And then there's that upkeep that you have, right? And so it's not like wood doors are less expensive than fiberglass doors.
Not
You
necessarily.
can say that, not necessarily. So you've got the sort of same expense as you have with fiberglass doors, but then you've got the added maintenance and the cost of that. So really, when you put a fiberglass door in, if I'm understanding you, you're saying to me, you put it in, set it, and forget it.
Pretty much. Now, just to be clear,
Pretty much.
if you have a 12-foot overhang over your entry door and the sun never gets to it and it's never going to get wet and you don't have a termite problem,
Yeah.
could you and should you or would you invest in a beautiful wood door? Absolutely.
Okay.
Most homes don't have that condition.
Okay.
So therefore, a fiberglass door just makes more sense.
Okay. So there's a lot of conditions where you can have a wood door.
Yep.
It's just that typically,
Yep.
what we're seeing, you don't have all of those conditions. You don't have a check. I've got, what did you say? Overhang,
10 to 12-foot overhang,
10 to 12 foot overhang,
never gets wet,
never gets wet.
and termites have been eradicated from your neighborhood.
And that's a miracle. Got it. Okay. So basically, if you don't have that, that's going to be really tough to have a wood door. We all love wood doors. Personally, you and I love wood doors, right? because they are so beautiful, and you get that kind of vintage, old, European style
Yeah.
home, which you can get. But again, and if you don't mind, I'm just going to do another little Vanna White thing here because I just love this door.
But you can.
It looks gorgeous. It's wood. It's fiberglass, and it looks like wood. And you can get it in all kinds of different stains as well,
That's right.
right? And can you do different grains?
You can.
You can even do different grains.
If you come on back here,
Oh, God.
I'll talk about the grains.
Tell me to keep coming back there.
Yeah. Wait, give me a stiff neck. So you can stain a multitude of different colors. You can have different grains. This one happens to be a vertical grain Doug fir, but there are many to choose from. So you talked about getting that sort of antique European door that, looks really old.
Sure.
You can do that.
Oh,
You can do that with a fiberglass door.
Okay.
You can make it look
amazing.
old.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Amazing. Well, I think that, is there anything else you want to add about wood versus fiberglass entry doors specifically?
Yeah, going back to the whole fiberglass and Corvette thing,
Yes.
I'd like to get a Corvette.
Okay. Okay. Well, we'll just jump right on that there for you. Well, so I think that is really, of everything that we've talked about for entry doors, we started off the segment just saying, you can really, you got to be careful. You got to be careful because you can have some unwanted costs, and it could just be, something that you really get yourself into. And so I think we really drilled down on some of those specifics. So I think that was really helpful. And then on top of that, you've got that beautiful curb appeal.
Exactly.
Right? I mean, the entry door is just that wow factor, and it really kind of sets that stage. Do you see those homes where you have the kind of the beautiful house? It's very maybe traditional, and then all of a sudden you have the red door.
I know you love red doors.
I do. I think they're beautiful. They're beautiful, and that just has that wow factor, right? Well, then there you go. That curb appeal, that wow factor that we're talking about with an entry door, and not to mention the fact that you got to be real careful. Costs, all the other things that we talked about.
And if you change your mind about that red door after you actually get one, you could paint it black.
Corvette.
Or yellow or green,
Corvette.
whatever color you want.
Love it.